Hello YouTube, welcome back to KLA Sports. I'm your host Kyle Alexander, and we're going to continue with the NFC, or we're going to finish up actually the NFC North free agency review. And today we're going to finish with the last and final team in the Detroit Lions. Now they did the worst in the division as they have the third overall pick, in the draft. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. Alright, so these are the additions and losses that they had in the free agency period. Well, first up, they signed guard Hal Vaitai, he's a good lineman. He was good. He is a good serviceable blocker and lineman in Philly. He provided protection for Carson Wentz, but they overpaid for him. He was in rotation for the starting spot in Philly. He was never like a big time starter. They're giving him like $10 million a year for 5 years. Yeah, they paid him like they paid him like a above average lineman, or I say he's like right there, average to all right. But they paid him like an above average lineman, so I think they overpaid for him. Now I think it was a good addition, just a bad price. Next up, they also got linebacker Jamie Collins, who knows Patricia's defense. He's been in there for most of his career, but he has only had success with New England. Like you saw, he's in Cleveland, didn't really do much. Then Cleveland cut him. New England picked him back up, and then just had another great year. So you have to wonder if that's a question in terms of like, is that going to affect him? Like he's only good in New England system, but I think he should be a little better because he was in Patricia's defense, so he knows how that works, and I think Patricia might be able to unlock his potential. But if not, then that just proves that he's a product of Belichick's system. Another New England Patriot they got is safety Deron Harmon from a trade with the Patriots. He's a great veteran safety. Again, knows Patricia's defense, and he becomes a leader on that secondary, especially with Darius Slay out the picture. He becomes a leader of that secondary. Speaking of secondary, they also signed cornerback Desmond Trufant, who's a good veteran corner, but he really hasn't been the same player that he was a couple years ago. And he's I like this deal that they signed to because it's only on a 1 year prove it deal, so that gives them a chance. Like, all right, what you did, like, can you become that lockdown or like a top corner? Not even top corner, like just a good coverage corner again, or are you or have you already peaked? So it gives them a chance to prove it. Next up, they also signed defensive tackle Danny Shelton from the Patriots, who is he's a good run stuffer, but he's not really that great of a D tackle. Doesn't get a lot of sacks, and he's not really he can stop the run, but he's not really a disruptor like Michael Pierce from the Vikings video. I think Shelton, he could be a good piece on his defense. Maybe Patricia can unlock his potential. They also brought in wide receiver Geronimo Allison from the Green Bay Packers, who's a young receiver. He could be a great pair with Kenny Galladay in the future. He's a nice jump ball wide receiver. And I think this is more of a long run move because you got in depth, but you gotta think they don't have Danny Amendola anymore. Galladay is their number one. Marvin Jones is older. He's in his 30s. Don't have Jermaine Kearse, or I think they did bring back Amendola in 1 year deal, but Amendola is older. So then you gotta think like who else is there. You get Allison for the future to pair up with Galladay. I think that's going to be a good receiving duo. Then they also brought in linebacker Reggie Ragland from the Kansas City Chiefs. That gives the team a veteran presence, and he can mentor Jelani Tavai and Jared Davis on the inside. But he's definitely a serviceable linebacker. Hasn't been that great, but he's been serviceable. So yeah, I think it wasn't too bad of a pickup. Now, time for the losses. Most notable loss is cornerback Darius Slay, who they traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. As an Eagles fan, I'm excited, but this trade, they lost the top corner in the league, and he had a fallout with Matt Patricia because Patricia was saying Slay came out and said he lost respect for Patricia, And there was a story that he even had where he said Patricia saw him working out with was like Richard Sherman and another corner I can't remember, but he and Patricia went to him and said, "Listen, like you don't train with those guys because they're the top. They're like the top elite corners, and you're just okay. You're just good. So it's not something you want to say to your best defender, but yeah, it's gonna definitely ruin the relationship and trust. So and they can't pair him with Jeffrey Okudah, who was most likely going to take. Now it seems like a lock. But yeah, if they were going to take Okudah with the second pick, they can't pair him up with Darius Slay. But yeah, Slay he had they just had a fallout, and now you lost your top defender. Next up, they also lost guard Graham Glasgow who went to the Broncos. He's a good blocker, and they lost a key part in the O line. Now, Hal Vaitai, he's not going to step in for Glasgow, but he's definitely going to be serviceable. He's going to be good. It's just I think Glasgow is definitely better. He's proved that he's a starter, and Vaitai's just been like a rotational piece. They also lost edge rusher Devin Kennard to the Cardinals, who had 14 sacks in 2 years. He had 7 sacks. He had 7 sacks each year, and he's more sure. He's more sure about than Collins, is the term I said. So in terms of what that means is that I think with Devin Kennard, you're more sure about his production, like how because he's been consistent, more like 7 sacks the last 2 years. He can generate pressure. Whereas Collins, you've only seen him been successful in the Patriots scheme, in the Patriots defense. So you're not 100% sure about him. Whereas Kennard, you're more you're more okay about. But that's just I don't know my word. But Collins is he made himself a desirable piece in the off season, and I think the Cardinals got a good edge rusher, and Patricia might be able to show or like be able to bring out Collins' New England days. And last but not least, they also lost offensive tackle Rick Wagner, who they cut and went to the Packers. The veteran tackle, he's a good blocker, but he's just taking up money, so that helped the cap situation. All right, so that was their free agency interview. I would grade that. I'll give that a B minus. They lost the top corner. Now I know a lot of people are saying Slade had an off season last year, but I mean I think that was still a pretty good year. Like 2 interceptions. I can't remember the deflections. I know he had like 2 interceptions. So he was still your top corner in the league, or top corner on the team actually. They overpaid for Hal Vaitai. Defense is still a bit of a fixer-upper. Defense is not that great. They lost. Also, I think they lost. I'm pretty sure they lost Mike Daniels. Yeah, they they let Mike Daniels walk. So defense, you cut Damon. You cut Damon Harrison too, who I forgot about. But like you lost Harrison, who was a run stuffer, and now you got Danny Shelton, who's not that great, or he's not in the same boat as Damon Harrison. And then, like the linebacker situation is still murky. And they're going to take Okudah at 3, I'm assuming. But the linebacker situation is still murky. So defense isn't all that great on paper. They did get a veteran safety in Hardman. They got a younger receiver to play with Galladay. Now, my thing is, in terms of the draft, they hold a 3rd overall pick. We already know Burrow and Chase Young are going first two spots. I think this makes Okudah a lock for third overall. They trade away Darius Slay. You got the best corner prospect in the draft sitting right there. So I'm pretty sure they're going to take him. I would think they would take him, but yeah, they're going to take Okudah at 3. That makes him a lock. All right, so that's going to be it for this episode. I don't know. I forgot they cut Damon Harrison. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comment section below what you think their best move was, what you think their worst move was, what you would grade their free agency period. And also, who you think they're going to draft at 3 and why. But yeah, that's it for this episode. So like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. Stay safe out there. Continue to wash your hands. And next video, we'll continue with the AFC East. But yeah, that's it for this episode. So I'll talk to you guys later.